That that's Pandos. I also am the chairperson of another organization called SLC Air Protectors, and what we do is try and find positive solutions to our air quality problem that we have here, right? Which it would be like planting trees, gardening, sovereignty, like food sovereignty, getting away from all of like the world and like being sovereign and producing our own food. So this is a big issue. This is an issue that is important for us as Native Americans because of what it does, because it does psychological damage to us, and it also perpetuates the racism that unfortunately that has been the culture. It's kind of been the de facto culture from a long time ago that racism is okay. I'm definitely here to say that racism is not okay. In fact, a lot of people don't know this, but maybe they do. But so this right here, my face mask right here, was actually made by a disabled person who made it for me because she said she wanted to do something to contribute to what I was doing, and so her voice could be heard. And this symbolizes the medicine wheel. So the medicine wheel for us, it symbolizes the 4 different directions, and it also symbolizes all of the people. So all of those people are represented within that medicine wheel. And that's what we believe as Indigenous people, is that we're all related. In fact, at the end of at the end of Lakota prayers, they say "Metakoye Yasin," which means we are all related. So by saying we're all related, that's acknowledging not just us as human beings, but everything, all of life, all of existence, that we're all related. And by doing that, we're essentially recognizing the Creator. So I'm gonna just start off by okay. So if the sprinklers turn on, does anybody melt? Like, is it just something we need to protect anybody especially? Okay, so we have, Ellie has some cups, we'll cover the sprinklers, all right? So hopefully the sprinklers don't come on. Okay, so I'm going to start with a song, and I think I'm going to sing a 4 Directions song. It's called a 4 Directions song, but there's 6 different verses. So we'll always start with the West, because the West is where blessings come from. The West, the medicine, the blessing comes from the West. So we start with the West. We go West, North, East, South, right? And then after those 4 verses, I'll sing to Wakan Tanka, which is the name of God, or how the Lakota people say God's name. So we talk to Wakan Tanka, and the words that I'll be singing are, it's acknowledging all these different directions, and we're praying to them first, and we're acknowledging those things, and we're asking for help from the directions from the Creator. Also, at the last verse, it's talking to Unshi Maka, which is Grandmother Earth. I know a lot of people they hear Mother Earth, Mother Earth, Mother Earth. The interesting thing about the Lakota people is they say Grandmother Earth. And if you think about your relationships with your parents, and then also the Creator's grandfather. So the Creator's grandfather, Mother Earth, is Grandmother Earth. And if you're familiar, I don't know about you, but in your personal like familial relationships, you know, like a grandmother's role as opposed to a mother's role, and a grandfather's role as opposed to a father's role, it's a lot more like loving and endearing, and it's easy to be that way because we don't have to discipline them and give them back, right? And this is coming, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have a 6-year-old granddaughter and a 1-year-old grandson, so I can dig that. Anyway, so I'll sing that song. If y'all don't mind, we can face those directions, all of us together. But we'll start with the West, and hopefully you can catch on the cues when we change directions. I will start with that. And then also, while I'm doing this, I acknowledge that everyone has their own way and own abilities to communicate with the Creator, the Divine, however the Divine wants to communicate with you, and you want to communicate with the Divine. So, just have that prayer in your heart with us. Yo, Enthusiasm. All right. What's our next thing? Who's our next what? Who's our next speaker? Michaela? Yep. All right. So, everyone, I want to introduce to you, because maybe a few of you don't know who Michaela is, but Michaela is the other half of the Mallory, the other Rogers, right? That got this whole ball rolling. And I appreciate Michaela and what she's done, and Mallory for what she's done, and all of y'all for just being here and supporting this, because this is what love looks like. It looks like being responsible and sticking up for people who are not like you, which is harder to do than sticking up for the people who are like you, right? So, Michaela, here you go.
Hi guys, thanks for coming out tonight. We really appreciate everyone who continues to support us in hoping for this mascot change. I originally started this as it was something that I realized I was uncomfortable with in looking back on my actions. And I'm so thankful for the people that have come together and I have learned so much from them. And I continue to learn more and more each day about different cultures and how I can be a better ally. And I hope that tonight that we can bring some education about misappropriation of cultures and how we can correct that to lots of people. And so Mallory and I started this almost a month ago, so it has been a wonderful month and crazy of trying to get stuff done. We have met and made a lot of progress, but there's still so much work that we need to do, and I hope that you guys will continue to support this and the changes that need to happen. Yeah, thank you all for coming tonight. Oh yeah, I was going to mention something about how this mascot is hurting someone. A group of people, and they have asked us to stop so we can be better by listening to them and making this change. This should not be a huge thing that we're asking for, that we can just change it. It is a mascot that we can rally around something that is better and more, not as divisive for our community. So I hope that we can come together and make a change and make Bountiful better. Thank you guys.
Hello, my name is Cynthia. I'm a 2011 graduate of Bountiful High School, and I'm half Navajo. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience being Navajo and having a brave as a mascot. I think, so in high school, kids would point to me as, Native American, and they would point to me, and then they would point to pictures of braves, and they would point to pictures of Native American women and point out me as that symbol. And so it kind of reduced me to a symbol more than anything else, I think. In high school it's really hard. It's really hard to be in high school as a person of color in a majority white school. It's really hard to be a person of color and a girl in a majority white school, and so it left me feeling very confused and very almost segregated in my own school. And what's hard is that I shouldn't have to share my experience. A mascot that appropriates an entire culture and reduces them down to mere imagery should be enough to want to change the mascot. You should want to be better than generations before us, the ones that in 1951 decided to use the mascot at a time when Native Americans couldn't vote or practice their religious beliefs in Utah. It should be enough to have each and every one of you reach out to the school level and say that bothers you. So, maybe it does bother you and you're thinking that we'll take care of this, but I come to you because everyone represents change. Everyone can make a difference. And so I just really hope that everyone just reaches out and realizes that this is not right.
Ellie, you're next. Okay, so next we're gonna be talking, or Ellie's gonna speak to us. And Ellie, you've been to like a couple of things, right? Like you were there and you were at the mayor's thing, and I really appreciate you. And this is cool because this right here, and these people who are not natives and who are doing something like this, this is encouraging to us as Indigenous people, because historically, this isn't really what happened. So thanks, Ellie. And kind of talk close to this.
Yeah. Hey, so like you said, I've been here a couple of times. I'm Ellie. I'm going into my junior year at Bountiful High. And of everything I've ever done in my life, I've never loved anything more than I've loved Bountiful High. And that's because I know the good that we can do and the good that we're trying to do. And changing the mascot is an opportunity for us to do that good. I've loved Bountiful High since before I started my junior high. I loved it because I saw the strong community that they had there. And I saw, the strong community of alumni and of teachers and staff who would rally behind the school. Bountiful High was always really united, and so it's been really hard for me to see a mascot be so hurtful. When I started out, when I started my sophomore year, I didn't really see it as something, being hurtful, mostly because of, misinformation I had been given, that we'd been given permission or something. But we haven't, and even if we had, we're being asked to change now. I love Bountiful High because of the entire student body. And this mascot is hurting members of our student body. I ask myself, what good are we missing out on because Native students are being hurt? And what is the good that we're missing out on because this mascot hurts everybody? Carla said a couple of times it's damaging to the psyche. It perpetuates these stereotypes. We miss out on generations of history because everything is being diluted to this incorrect and misappropriation of imagery. I love Bountiful, and I'm going to be really disappointed if we can't make this change. I've been hurting to see my community be divided. This is something that I think we can rally together. This isn't an us versus them. This is Bountiful versus cultural appropriation. So as a Bountiful High student, I'm asking the Davis School District and the members of my community and the staff and administration at my school and my student body to come together and be kind enough and be loyal enough and care enough to make this change. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Meg, you're next. So, again, this started with Mallory and Michaela stepping up and kind of noticing that there's something wrong, which is difficult to do when you come from a certain paradigm that the culture has existed for so long. And then they turned it over to Meg, which is appropriate, and Meg has kind of rallied us together, us as Indigenous people and everybody, and she's taking the lead on this now. So, yeah, you will. Yeah. and Meg does a lot of advocacy. I met Meg. It was just an online meeting, right? It was an online relationship back in the Standing Rock days. And then I worked with her brother with SLCF Protectors and a lot of different things. But anyway, so Meg's an awesome woman. So this is Meg singing.
Yate. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So look around you. Look to your left. Look to your right. Look at the people who are with you. This is your family. 4 weeks ago, two people wanted to say, hey, the mascot issue, it's actually been something that Native people have been fighting for generations now. Whoa. So let's go to our leaders, the ones that we look to for support. Was it there? It wasn't. So then we looked to each other, right? We decided together we're going to bring this problem to the surface. And did they listen? Well, we tried to. I mean, they told us to get there early so we could get on the list to speak. But then we found out that we had to be there 2 hours early. So then they wouldn't let all of us speak, and we packed the house 2 weeks ago. And then they said that the decision would be up to the principal, and so we talked to the principal, and then we never heard back from him. And they're in there right now talking about how they're going to change the mascot, or if. So this is part of the problem. We have the community here. We're together. We're rallied. But then the people are not listening to us. And that's all we want. And that's all we've wanted, right? It's to just talk about how this doesn't need to be a divisive thing. It's just like what Elliot said. It's bountiful against some racist idea that's totally dumb, but it needs to change because it's having effects on not just Native students, but all students. So we are here saying we are fighting for all students, whether or not you go back to school 5 days a week, whether you do it at home. Everyone deserves to know and learn about the Native people of this land. Every single person in Utah deserves to learn that. Why? Because we have knowledges about the land. We have knowledges about the weather. We have knowledges about how to treat people, how to govern people, how to take care of one another. Something that, unfortunately, the dominant society has forgotten about. We've been keeping this through year after year after year. We weren't representing ourselves. We would fight for the government to give us access to the powers so that we can have sovereignty and determination over our own lives. Year after year after year. Before Bountiful High School was even a figment in people's minds. And hopefully it won't be that way in the future though. We're here right now. This is it. Family, together, in kinship. In Navajo, the first thing that you do when you meet somebody is you tell them who you are and how you're connected to people. You tell them who your clans are. Every single person has a clan. That's because we are all connected to one another. And that connection, it's so important. It's what keeps me accountable to you and you accountable to me. It's what makes sure our kids grow up healthy and happy. It's how we take care of our elders. It's how we listen. It's how we learn. I've done activism a lot, especially around schools. And it sucks. It really sucks. Because you come together and you're saying, we want the best for our kids, and still you have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. But we know right now, right? We know the fight, it's not even getting started because we're not even tired yet. We're ready to go. We're going to see this change. Not only that, Native students in Bountiful High School, non-Native students in Bountiful High School, they will be learning about Native histories. They will be learning about what we value. That's one promise that this group has decided to do, is that if we are going to ask people to sacrifice something, we are going to give something back in return. And that is our knowledge and our ways of thinking. So, when we talk about this, when we go forward, we want to ask questions. Why hasn't the administration listened? They're not listening. They're putting it off. They're saying we don't have authority over it. And that's not taking responsibility. That's not being accountable to me. It's not being accountable to you. So whatever is happening in there, because we don't know, because they didn't put the sound on for the live stream. They could have everything that we want, that they're going to change it completely, that they have funding for it, that everything is there. It doesn't matter. We still have to make them sure that they follow through. And if it's something that we don't like, we're going to tell them, hey, you could do a little bit more. And you could have done this before, it was public, because we've been trying to talk with you this whole time. It's frustrating. These things, these systems are made up to protect us. It's how we function in the world. But you can see it favors a few, and it doesn't favor us at all. This is the second time now that we've taken out of our time, out of our lives, to engage in the civic process that we are not being accepted into. And this is happening in 2020. In Utah, even. Ugh. So, when we go forward, remember, we're trying to keep people accountable to us. Not because they're our elected officials, not because they're this guy over here or this lady over there, but it's because we are all connected. We are all family, and we are all related to one another. So, I know that's kind of sad. This week has been hard for me. It's just really tiring. We keep talking about this stuff. It's like, come on, promise. But I just want to thank you so much for how much support we've had. It's been incredible. We have never gotten this far. It shouldn't be this hard, also. But we have never gotten this far. And it's because we have non-Native allies who are willing to step up, and they're not scared. With allies, sometimes you're all like, yeah, of course, everybody wants to be around, singing do Kumbaya and, do burning sage, but what about the hard work? And you guys have all been there for the hard work. That's why it's going to happen. Whatever happens, it's going to happen. So thank you. Keep praying. Keep your family close. Just keep remembering what you're doing is the right thing. And you're doing it for all the right reasons. Promise me. Now look to the person to your right. Look to the person to your left. Thank you. You guys are the best.
Thank you, sister. All right, so we're going to have Lee Michelle speak next, but I apologize. I actually forgot to acknowledge where we are. Okay, that's that zone. All right. So I want to acknowledge that this land, Shoshone land and Ute land, and I got this shirt when we were in Wellington. When I don't know if y'all know this, but in Wellington they have like this reenactment where they have like people dress up as Native Americans and like burning villages, like straight like real fire burning things. Anyway, but we got them to change that 2 years ago, which is awesome. What's that? Oh, if y'all have those comment papers, can you give them to Meg, please? But anyway, yeah, so I want to acknowledge that this is Shoshone land and Ute land. And land for indigenous people is a part of the sacred connection. Because where you walk, that is sacred. Where the Creator put you, that is sacred. There's stewardship. There's all of these things that go along with land and place. So I definitely want to acknowledge them. I also want to kind of recognize what is here, because so I want to recognize our Eagle staff. This staff it goes in front of all the other flags at a powwow or engagements like that, because this represents us as indigenous people. The eagle represents us, and it carries our prayers to the Creator, because the eagle flies the highest. So when we're doing our prayers, when we're doing our prayers with tobacco, when we're doing our prayers with words, all of that goes up, and the eagles come by and they carry that prayer to the Creator. So it's kind of like it's analogous to Jesus, where there's like an intercessory. So the eagle represents that to us as indigenous people. So we have this eagle medicine. So all of these things are medicine, and this is one of the hard things that happens when we have mascots. Is it doesn't necessarily matter what the mascot is, but it's what the name it says and what comes with the people who are the fans who go to these games, right? And so they start wearing these things which are sacred to us as indigenous people. Every single one of those feathers is sacred to us, and every single one of those feathers was blessed. Every single one of those feathers has a medicine that it gives to us. All of those things are respected because they died for us. All of those. The hawks, the parrots, the macaws, the owls, the hawks, the eagles, the magpies, the flickers. All of those things gave their life to us so they can be a part of our medicine. And so when people, they dress up and they wear these weird colored feathers and they paint their face, that's a desecration of the sacred. And so I just want to acknowledge that this right here is medicine, and I'm blessed by this medicine being here, and y'all should be blessed by this too, because this here is giving you strength. Okay, this staff is giving you strength. So Lee Michelle, I'm going to have you come and speak. So Lee Michelle is from Kaibato, Arizona, AZ, and you just recently moved here, and the mother of Lim Lee, right? All right, awesome. And she's going to speak to us. Let me clean this up real fast.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. My name is Michelle Navajo from Kaibato, Arizona. Okay. Huh? Closer. Okay. Oh, okay. Hi. Okay, then. Okay. Well, my daughter's family, I don't know if anybody read her statement when she first got into the board. We just recently moved here. For better opportunities and, better education for our children. I do have 3 children in the Data School District. I have 2 siblings as well that I've helped raise my mother. So, let's see. My daughter had her, she started at Bountiful, and, she brought this situation. She came up to me when I was at work, and she was at an assembly, and, brought it to me, and, pretty much, I told her, you gotta hang in there, let's figure something out, let's take care of the situation later on. And then, COVID happened, and then I saw Mallory's post come up, and, it got our attention, and I wanted to help. My daughter wanted to help. We were scared a little bit to speak up about it or even bring it to the district. So that's some of the fear I have. Like today, I actually spoke with the register at Bountiful, and it was really amazing to know, like, there are people in the district that are, they're starting to know who my daughter is, and they really like what she had to say. But then there was the education of, it seemed like they didn't know what they were talking about, what Braves met, or what was going on in their school. So that, me and her had a conversation, because today we were enrolling my little brother, there as well. And I did talk to the principal, but he has reached back out to me. He said he would inform me, he would speak with me, he would, approach me. It took me to talk to Mallory, to go ahead and have her reach out to the principal in order to even speak with me or see what what's going on. I would think that, if there's an issue or something going on in your school, you would call that person. And, I know Lumley's the only Native American that was going to school at that time. So right now for us, it's like kind of like, we're kind of a little scared about it. We're really glad that all the support is there for us because it is just me and my family, me, my mother, and the kids here. So we are learning as well about the area. Bonneville is where, where we want to live, is where we want to purchase a home. This is where we want to stay. And it isn't only for, my children's future, it's for our children, going down the line. Because, we went through our own struggles. There's reasons why. There's a story behind of why we're here, why Lemley's here. So, get to know us, speak with us, and, learn about us, That's that's pretty much all I could say is we do need to change this. I will see this through, and I will keep helping my daughter and be beside her and supportive on changing the name and the mascot. Because today I heard someone just say Brave. Why don't we just say it's, the Brave, just keep the Brave. And I was just, shocked to me, like, I'm learning so much from Carl too. Everything that he's doing, it's actually teaching me and my children more about, our history. And, it's helping me be here and speak here. Because, I am sometimes get nervous and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, all your support, what you guys say, everything you guys are putting us part of, do that because there are more Native American students that need to come to these schools, that need to be welcomed and not be scared to enter any of schools here. We do need this education. We are one people. We're all neighbors. We help one another. Just like in, I have neighbors. We talk to each other, say hi. We help one another. That's what I was raised on, always to respect your elders, to respect anybody around you. In our culture, when somebody comes to visit you, you gotta have food. You gotta have, something ready because they're coming to reason, maybe to vet to you, or they had a tough day, or they just want to see how your life is. Always have that, no matter where you go. Where we're here, and we can walk into a store and we're the only natives there, but it doesn't change us. We always say hi. We help people. Just everywhere around. It's our younger generations. Like, thank you, Ellie. I think Ellie and Lem know each other. And Lemley had a birthday when she was 12, and I didn't know that was her. So they do go back. I had a big birthday when Lemley was 12, and we lived here previously. And we welcomed all of them. There were so many girls, and Lemley had so much fun. But honestly, the school just needs to understand our point of view. Lemley stood up, a child stood up in front of a board who is a different race, and, spoke what she felt like, and, she just said what she had to say. Said, like everybody else that said that, this shouldn't have been happening. It's 2020. My daughter, like she said, I don't know why I have to be here to address this, this issue, because this should have been already fixed a long time ago. So yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, so I want to remind everyone about what Meg said, and I think other people have said, is that this really is a family here, and the appropriate thing to do for family is to be here with each other. So y'all are a good representation of what a good family, a healthy family is. And I also want to acknowledge something like, every time it's like gonna have PTSD about sprinklers. I want to acknowledge the women that are here and what the women have done, especially mothers, in the raising of the children. And I think that this is a good example because we're going to be hearing from Lemley, and obviously Lemley has gained her confidence and courage from her mother. And I'm assuming that, I hope that I'm right, I'm probably right, family, right? It's family, it's aunties, it's those people that are coming together. And so when Lee Michelle talks about family, you know, and being there. I would believe her that she's going to be there for you, and I would hope that you would be there for her, because this is going to be a battle, and when we're putting all this pressure on Lim Lee, you know, to be the face of this, which is something that this shouldn't have to happen, because that's a lot of pressure. And I want to talk about the psychology really fast, about the psychology of these things, is that's what mascots do, is it starts giving us an image of what we're supposed to be like. And if we're not like that as Native Americans, then we don't even value ourselves. We don't even think we're Native Americans if we don't look like that. So it's like we're looking to this image of what we're supposed to be. So if we could just dispel that, and then we can be who we are, you know, that'd be great. So Lim Lee, you'll come up and speak to us. So she'll be our final speaker, and then I'll say a prayer, and then we can leave. Okay.
My name is Lemon. I just want to thank, you guys are so great. And I like to thank you, so I could have. I just wanted to say this shouldn't be a discussion to start about, and you guys are really great. You guys are really supportive, and what you guys are doing for me and about the school mascot, you guys are like, I'm really sorry. But yeah. Sorry. I like to thank Ellie, because I know her when I started school, and she was like the face, like most people, and she said a lot about and great points, especially all the other girls that came and also involved into this thing, and that they know that most of you guys know what's going on this topic and the mascot, especially the sacred things that are close to us, the medicine, and that we're all one people. We're all related, and that most people don't really see that, and they see the true colors of people when you get to know them on topics like this. And you guys are so great. Sorry. You guys are great. I just have to repeat over and over. And that you guys are really supportive. And this is my first time doing something that's actually right and actually being a part of and being a face of. And that there's people actually noticing me, and that you guys bring here and we gather today on a protest or a prayer meeting. And that you guys are just awesome. you guys see what's wrong here, and that most schools don't really do this type of thing, and that don't really take notice. And as like Mallory, you're right. And that like everyone behind her and her speaking out on this, and especially her not being indigenous, it's really puts a light on us, and knows that we have people that's on our side, that there's people that understand stuff like this, that they see the wrong, that they see the bad and harsh things that these mascots and these imageries that people see on Native American people. But yes, I am learning as we're going on. I am a huge... culture is really emotional thing to talk about for me, because it's something that's close and that helps me through a lot of stuff. And I just have to thank all of you. You guys are great. And sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. So thank you for listening to talk and letting me be here with you guys and supporting me all through this whole thing. And, I do love Bonneville. Bonneville is a great school, and the people there are awesome too. And I was kind of expected what it would become when going to the assemblies. And the reason why I stopped attending to the assemblies, it's really hurtful because, because I felt alone at that point because, it's something that's, it's like an image on you, But some people are asking, I don't see you as a native person, you don't look native. Because there's like image out there that you're supposed to look at like this type of person. There's drawings of people back then. But yeah. So thank you guys. You guys are really supportive. And you're strong. And you guys are just great people. And I want to thank all of you again for coming here and to have your posters and sing alongs on how this thing is affecting others and that we can make a change. It's 2020. And yeah, thank you.
So I like to educate people. I'm not an educator, but I like to educate people. I want to point something out about culture, like indigenous culture, is like I'm unique, and I think Meg's unique because I think we grew up in a different type of situation. But in a traditional Dene culture or traditional Hopi culture, like you don't talk in front of people. You don't do that. You let the elders talk. You just sit there and you listen. And so this is really encouraging, because it takes a lot of strength to come up and talk, when your culture, but I'm sure if you went to their homes, you would be talking like crazy, right? That's the way that it is. It's like when you're in a family relationship, you feel the trust, the reciprocated trust back and forth. And so this means a lot. Yeah, I'll close in a prayer. And this prayer, I guess it's kind of indicative of the whole mascot thing and the sacred concept and what is sacred to us. Yeah, you can decline it. Anyway, you can't. Did you decline it? Quit calling me. All right. So I'll say this prayer. Wakataka Takashila, Creator God, just want to thank you today for all of these people out here, your creations that have come out here to gather together, to be united for the voice of morality. Creator, we want to ask forgiveness for the things that we do wrong. We ask that you would have pity on us, have mercy on us, for those things that we do wrong. We might do some things that are wrong to our family members. We might do some things that are wrong to people that we don't even know, that we're doing those things wrong. But Creator, just have mercy on us, have pity on us when we do those things. But Creator, we ask that you would help us to know what is the right way to go about things, the right way to live. The right way to have relationships with each other. We ask that from you. Creator, acknowledge that you are the creator of all things, that you're the creator of our lives, that you're the creator of our system, our body, how our body works. You created the way that we breathe, the way that we see, the way that we speak, the way that we walk. You created those things for us, and I give you thanks for that. Creator, I want to acknowledge all those animals and plants that are living for us and that die for us, that sacrifice themselves for us so that we can live. Creator, we appreciate them, and we ask that that we can honor them and respect them in a good way. That we don't just eat these things without saying thank you for them. And we thank you for sending the sun here every day. Creator, you send the sun every day, and I thank you for that. That sun that gives us light, that gives us energy, that gives us hope. Some people are depressed, at night, but the sun comes up, and I think that it helps. So Creator, I thank you for that. Thank you for the air that we breathe. Thank you for the water that we drink. thank you for the community that we have, especially this community that's around here. You know, just being good to each other. Creator, I want to ask blessings on everyone out here for all of those things that they have in their hearts, those prayers that they have in their hearts. I want to pray for their health, especially at this time when we're dealing with this pandemic. Creator, I pray for their protection of themselves, protection of their family, their parents, their siblings, their children. Pray for them. Creator, I want to pray for those people who are right now, who do have this disease, you know, that they can go through this disease and that they can go through it in a courageous way, that they can go through it with some kind of a hope in their hearts and some kind of peace in their hearts. Creator, I want to pray for those people who are depressed. I want to pray for the people who have PTSD. I want to pray for the people who have been abused emotionally, physically, whatever that is. Creator, I want you to help them out. Creator, I want you to help us out, to help us to keep looking for our missing and murdered indigenous, the missing community. I want to pray for those people who have lost loved ones. However they've lost them, I want to pray for them. You know, maybe they've lost them recently. I want to pray for their grieving, that they can be able to grieve and that they can have some hope. Creator, I just want you to be the hope and the strength for the people when they can't see hope and strength. Creator, help us in this way forward, you know, when we're trying to change this mascot. Bless the people that are making decisions. Help them to see what is right and what is wrong. But just really help them to see. Help us to be the words. Help us to speak those words that will be able to communicate to them and convince them, you know, what is right and what is wrong. So, Creator, again, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge that this is everybody here, that we're all related. Matakayasan, we're all related. That's the first time I haven't been the one that says, let's take a picture. Seriously.